A summer trip to Yosemite is incomplete without a stop at Glacier Point. On this trip, which I took in late June of 2025, Glacier Point was my first stop after entering the park. I came into Yosemite through the southern Wawona entrance and then took Glacier Point Road to the parking area. And this right here is the trail in from the parking area if you decide to drive. You can also hike up to Glacier Point from the valley floor. There's the 4-mile trail and the panorama trail. You can see the trailhead for the panorama trail right here. Both are very challenging hikes though, with a few thousand feet of elevation gain. I did an awesome hike one time, which is actually a big loop where you go up the 4-mile trail to Glacier Point and then back down through the panorama trail, which ends at the Mist Trail. I think it's called Yosemite's Greatest Hits. It's one of the best hikes I've ever done, so I'd highly recommend that, but you're looking at about 15 miles and 5,000 feet of elevation gain if you want to embark on that. After exploring this first section by the parking area, you're going to want to go left towards Glacier Point. There are a couple of forks in the road here. To get to Glacier Point, you want to stay left, and then there's a second fork. If you go left again, that will actually take you down the 4-mile trail, which is the trail that I was just talking about. There's a little peek into where it would start, but instead we're gonna go right or straight here out towards Glacier Point. And right here, we're approaching one of my absolute favorite views in all of Yosemite National Park. You can just see so much. When you look out here straight, you can see Yosemite Falls in the distance. When you're in person, it's a little easier to see, but yeah, you have a beautiful view of Yosemite Falls out that way. And then as you look right, you can see Little Yosemite Valley in the back. You can see Half Dome. And then over further to the right, you can see Nevada and Vernal Falls, which the Mist Trail would take you to. And there are Nevada and Vernal Falls out there in the distance, just to the right of Half Dome. I'm gonna do another pan over to Yosemite Falls here just to take in this view because it is the highlight of Glacier Point in my opinion and one of the best views in the whole park. The Park Service calls this little stone building the Geology Hut. I guess they do geology work in it, I don't know. But I think it's a really cool building and it has cool views out the windows. I know there are quite a few people in these clips, but this is absolutely nothing. It actually wasn't very crowded at all. I got out here by about 9 a.m. on a Friday, but usually this is one of the busiest spots in the whole park, so the crowds actually were not bad at all. I've been here when it's much, much busier, so that can be one of the downsides of Glacier Point. But on a day like today, it was perfect. So this last spot here is called Washburn Point. It's about half a mile down the road from Glacier Point, and I'd never been here before, but I'm glad I stopped because it was totally worth it. It gives a slightly different angle of Half Dome, Nevada and Vernal Falls, and it was much less crowded, so it was worth the stop and gave more great views. I also want to mention that Glacier Point Road is closed for about half the year because it gets so much snow. I guess it's technically just closed to cars. You can snowshoe for miles and miles if you really want to, but if you happen to be out here in the summer, you should make the drive because it's not always something that you're able to do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.